We finally made it to Amsterdam by train, and from the moment you arrive, even the train station feels like a masterpiece of architecture since its opening in 1889. Then you got the famous canals lined with those tall, quirky houses that lean over so slightly, thanks to being built on wooden foundations. The views are amazing. And those wooden foundations, that's why some of the houses are leaning ever so slightly. And so it's because when the wood, they built them on wood way a long time ago, and when the wood gets exposed to oxygen, they rot. And so the houses are foundations, they're never going to be straight, but they fix them, but they're always going to be leaning slightly. You just have to live that way. But the architecture is beautiful. The cathedral downtown, it's awesome. And then after this, we were checking out the downtown architecture, and then we took a trip out to the Kloppen wooden shoes being outside of town. About a 30-45 minute bus ride. That was pretty cool. They make these shoes out of the poplar trees, which grow in water, and they're very lightweight, waterproof. So that's what, and because they work in such water, like you wonder why they wear wooden shoes, but the lady explained how this is what they had back in the day, the poor people. They would just make their woods, and they were waterproof. So it was really cool to see that. And then we took a bus over to the Zanzee-Schans. It feels like you're stepping straight back into a storybook. It's incredible. So all these windmills, they moved here back in the 1950s. Instead of them getting dilapidated and torn down, they brought them all here in this area so that people could still enjoy them to this day forever. So they didn't want to tear them down while they're spread out around the country. They just brought them here and they could be protected. It was pretty cool to go see these actual windmills that were. And then of course you can't miss Alice's bucket list thing, the tulip field. That's why we went.
I could spend all day in that place.
So the tulip fields, we went to the, I can't remember the name of it, Kronke, something like that. It's like the famous one. It's about a 45-minute bus ride. I'm telling you, I'm not saying who to use, but you can drive out there, you can take a bus. I thought taking the bus was simple because somebody else dealt with the traffic and all of that stuff, and we took the bus. We showed up at the place. We had a 10 a.m. bus ride. It was packed. You meet at a certain location on the north side of the city center, but we got on the bus. It's not that bad. And
it was very organized.
It was very organized, very efficient. It just looks crowded, but you just get on the bus and you get out there. Then you got 2 or 3 hours, and you check it out. And then you just take the next bus going back. This is the first weekend in April, Easter weekend. So they're just now starting to bloom. So they'll be blooming even more as you get closer towards May.
Yeah, I think that those things closes around May 13th or 14th sometimes. The flowers start to die.
But we didn't know the tulips. We thought they were from Netherlands, and they're not. They were actually a gift from the Ottomans back in the 1500s, the 16th century. So they just grow great in this specific sand that they have in the Netherlands. So now heads up is if you're going in April or May, get there early before the crowd. We suggest you either drive or take a bus out there early, like 9, 10 o'clock. We did the 10 a.m. It was pretty crowded. I wish if I did it all over again, I would do the 9 a.m. And when we got out there, we had 2 or 3 hours, and by the time we walked out the main entrance, it was so crowded around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. It was just packed. So it was crowded when we got there, and it was even more crowded when we left. So go there early.
If you want to bring a little snack, a lunch, water, bring it, because the lines to get food is
You can take a backpack with lunch, drinks, whatever, and just sit out in the park and have lunch out there too. That's what I would do next time too. Sit out there, have lunch, and it's just very relaxing.